Hello there, survivors, and welcome to ARK Survival Ascended on Valguero. And today, I've built this fire lookout tower as the perfect little starter base, or of course an outpost in a distant biome. And of course, the advantage of building up high is that you're relatively safe from everything around, unless you of course build it somewhere where there's some hostile flyers. So the essence of this build is quite simple. It's built up on pillars, so you're quite high above the ground. There is a staircase up, of course, so you or smaller tames would still be able to go upstairs. And of course, your flyers can easily land on the platform, granting you some safety and a little bit of room for all of your crafting and storage. And of course, your respawn needs here on your next adventure. And if you want to build this one for yourself, I'll have the build tutorial coming out very soon. So yeah, I just wanted to take a quick look at this build because I quite like the way it looks, and I think this is actually a really fun thing, either as a starter base early on, but also definitely as just a quick little outpost that you could build somewhere in a new biome. It's easy to spot, of course, because it is quite a high up build, and you can kind of go as high as you want, of course, with the pillars, so that you can easily spot it, you can land there and then respawn there, etc, which I think could be really useful. And I mean, there's something quite magical and quite cool about fire lookout towers, I think, so I really wanted to make one for ARK. So yeah, we're here on Valguero, just released, of course, and if you want to know this exact spot, it's in the middle of the redwoods, located at these coordinates. So yeah, it's a bit of a hill here, which I thought was very fitting, has a nice lookout and actually some decent views around you. Of course, there's also castles to spot, like there's a castle over there. So yeah, thought this would be a pretty nice spot. There's no mods that you need to build this one. There's only the frontier skin from the Bob Tall Tales DLC. I have used some cosmetics for the decorations on the inside, but of course, that's optional. You don't need to use them. So let's check out the build in a little bit more detail. Down here, we've got, of course, the staircase up. And yeah, you can just kind of follow this all the way around until we get to the platform itself. And then we have the little cabin up here. So on the platform, you have a decent amount of space, so you could park like tames and flies, etc. here. We have a little fireplace here, or a campfire here, with the Astraeus skins, which turns it into this really cool brazier, which is awesome. We have a bunch of storage on the platform. We've got a little smelting corner here, so you can start smelting that metal. And then we have more storage right next to it. We have the cooking pot over here, so you can do all that. We have a feeding trough, of course, to make sure that all creatures are fed. And then we have the cabin, which has a lot of layers to it. Quite like the way that all turned out, with all these shallow roofs using the ramps. Of course, the frontier skins for windows, and yeah, quite like the amount of detail on this one. There's a lot of little nooks and little additions to the roofs just to make it less flat and more exciting, in my opinion. Then we have the entrance over here. I've used the Viking builder skins on the fireplace as well as on the rugs to get these really cozy bear rugs, as well as on the library, actually, because it makes it look a little bit more old, which I quite like. And then we have the free Astraeus skins on most of the other furniture. So like this is all Astraeus skins. The vase, by the way, it's from the Eastern event, if you didn't know. That's when you could unlock the skin. Of course, the Eastern event is a mod, so if you're playing on single player or unofficial, you can just add this to unlock the skins. And you might be able to unlock it through Club ARK as well if you're unofficial. Not quite sure about that one, but hopefully you can, because it is quite a nice skin, as you can see. Definitely nice to decorate with. We have a little bit of storage all the way around us. More storage here with a smithy. We have a fabricator with the Astraeus skin here. And then we have a little kitchen area here with fridges and the grill right in the middle, just to make it nice and cozy. And especially with those Astraeus skins, it just looks very cozy, in my opinion. So I quite like the vibe of that, and it just makes for a really cozy room, in my opinion. It's not too big, of course. It's very small, but big enough, I think, to get you going for a decent while. And even as an outpost, I think it's quite a decent amount of space. So we've got the hallway here where there's just a generator with the Australia skin. And then we have a nice little bedroom here with the Viking skin on the bed. A little treasure chest for your personal belongings. A cryo fridge for when you respawn here. Bit of storage too. Nice little hangout spot here in front of the other fireplace. And then again, more libraries and a bit storage here. We have a vault with the Australia skin just to make sure that you have basically all you really need. We've got some maps around as well, so you really know where you're going, especially if this is maybe some kind of outpost of some sorts. But yeah, again, it's quite a cozy build. It's not a very big build, but I think it works. And I think it, yeah, it's just nice, compact, but big enough. And the added safety, of course, of being high up from the ground, I think is a real plus, because even if there is some hostile things spawning in the area or things, you know, are kind of following you around for some reason, I think this will keep you safe for a little bit. As I said, unless, of course, there's flyers near you. But also, if you need like an outpost, like let's, for example, say you're playing single player and, you know, you're going to travel somewhere and you like to play, instead of just spamming a bed down, you want to have a little bit more of a proper safe respawn point. I think these ones are not too much work to do, especially since once you've built one, you could always go and make a template, of course, and easily plonk them down and yeah, have nice safe respawn points that also are like cool points of like interest and easy markers in the landscape to see where you're going. Yeah, quite like it. So it's mostly just a combination of the frontier skins with the normal wooden textures and then just flipping them around, of course, for different situations. I painted some of the frontier wood here because I wanted to keep the normal staircases, so I painted those, and then this matches a little bit more color-wise, because the normal staircase without a skin has these open slits, and of course as soon as you add the frontier skin to it, it actually turns it to a full staircase, which I didn't quite like for the staircase going down here, so that's why I did a little bit of painting to make that look all a little bit nicer. But yeah, I think that yeah, I think that works. I think that looks quite nice. I really like the silhouette of it here in the redwoods, of course, quite fitting, I think, biome-wise. But again, you could easily build this everywhere. And the good thing is, because it's built on pillars, even if it's uneven terrain, of course, you could just extend one of the legs or two of the legs or three of the legs, depending on the landscape, which I think is going to make it very versatile and very useful for all sorts of different biomes. But yeah, as I said, build tutorials coming out very, very soon. It will be out very soon on the channel if you want to build this one for yourself. And of course, with the release of Valguero, there's going to be plenty of other build videos and build locations. So make sure to like the video if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel to not miss out on all of those new videos and live streams. And of course, feel free to leave your suggestions for builds you'd like to see, and maybe specifically for Valguero, what would you like to see me build here? Maybe you want me to rebuild some ruins, you want to see specific styles, bases, let me know down in the comments below, and who knows, I might tackle one of your suggestions first. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next video or stream. For now, goodbye.